Welcome to Lesson 1 on surface area of cylinders and triangular prisms. So let's start by looking at a cylinder. A cylinder consists of two circular bases and a curved surface. And the formula is given by 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Now let's break down this formula to see where it comes from. 2 pi r squared comes from the fact that there are two circles. And the area of a circle is pi r squared, where r is the radius, which is the distance from the center of the circle to an outside edge. And since there's the two circles, we get 2 pi r squared. Now the 2 pi r h comes from the curved surface. So if you picture peeling off a soup can label and spreading it out, you'll get a rectangle. So here's the height of the can. And the length is the circumference of the circle, which is 2 pi r. Now multiplying length times width, that's where you get 2 pi r h. So it's important to understand the formula for word problems where you may only need, say, the curved surface and one of the circles, or in a composite object where you need to subtract any overlap. You need to be able to adjust the formula accordingly. In example 1, we have to determine the surface area of the figure below to the nearest tenth. So we need 1 decimal place. So we'll start by writing out the formula. 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Now looking at the circle, we do not have the radius. We're in fact given the diameter. Now we can find the radius by just dividing the diameter by 2. Now 8 divided by 2 is 4. So now I'll plug that into my formula. I got 2 pi and then the radius squared plus 2 pi and then the radius and then the height. Now when I go to plug this into my calculator, I'm going to press my pi button, which should be on most scientific calculators. If you use 3.14, then our answers might differ slightly because of rounding. So use the pi button if you have it. 2 pi r squared, this is 100.5, and 2 pi r h is 339.3. Adding that together, we get 439.8 centimeters squared. Now for a right triangular prism, we have 2 triangular bases, which are equal, and then we have 3 rectangular faces, which may not be equal. Now the surface area is just going to be the areas of the 2 triangles added together plus the areas of the 3 rectangles. You need to remember now that the area of a triangle is base times height over 2, and a rectangle is just length times width. So in example 2, we had to determine the surface area of the figure below to the nearest tenth. Let's start with the 2 triangles. There's 2 of them, which I said are equal. Now the base of the triangle right here is 6, and the height of the triangle is 4.5. I'll divide that by 2. Now I need to add the 3 rectangles. So let's look at this bottom rectangle here. The dimensions of this are 8.2 times 6. Then looking at this rectangle here, we get 8.2 times 4.5. Then this rectangle here, one that's like on the slant, is 8.2 times 7.5. Now putting this into my calculator, I get 27. Then I get 49.2 and 36.9 and then 61.5 for a total of 174.6 millimeters squared.